Ms. Robinson, please answer the question I'm asking you.
Absolutely.
Why do women's sports exist?
I think that there are so many positive benefits to sports.
But why have a separate category for women? If there's no difference between women and men, why to have women's sports?
Woo! Why indeed? I don't know the difference between men and women, so why would we have men and women's sports? Why would we even have men and women? There is so little difference. But welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. In some Senate hearings, we're going to watch a video, you just saw a clip of Senator Ted Cruz, who doesn't seem to readily go along with the woke ideology that says men get in women's sports and just have at it, get in their locker rooms too. Doesn't seem to go along with it. So in a hearing, they were talking to Riley Gaines. She was the best female collegiate swimmer in the world, finished second to Leah Thomas. And in this hearing, they also wanted to have someone try to mix up reality, bring in some idiocracy, and discount biological realities between men and women. And this is another example of someone who, this woman, Kelley Robinson, I believe her name is, probably a very intelligent person. Now, here's the beautiful thing. When you see very intelligent people try their best to not use the basic intelligence that their brain is more than capable of, it is hilarious. Now, if you're seeing someone who is like mentally challenged, they don't have basic intelligence, that's not funny at all. But seeing someone who is very intelligent, completely unwilling to use their intelligence, that is hilarious. And that's where we're at. Welcome to 1984. We're doing idiocracy today, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the weather forecast is for. Partly sunny with an intense case of idiocracy. So let's take a look at Senator Cruz grilling this woman with a basic question that a 3-year-old could answer, and she is completely unwilling to do so. It's one part frustrating, one part hilarious, and 2 parts exposing of the idiocracy agenda that is this woke ideology. Let's take a look.
Ms. Robinson, do you agree with Ms. Gaines that there's a difference between women and men?
If the question is...
Whatever she's going to say, that wasn't the question. Like, if the question... No, the question was literally the question that was just asked. The answer is yes.
About trans women?
I'm just asking, is there a difference between women and men?
What I can say is that the NCAA has rules.
Trying so hard to not access her intelligence. Not that it takes much intelligence to answer this question, but she is just fighting it. It's just like a drug addict fighting the urge to do their thing. It's just like, dude, I can't. I'm like, my intelligence is right there, but I have to fight it.
Rules in place. They've had rules in place for the last decade, and when this competition
Okay, I'm going to try again.
The rules were clear.
Do you believe there's a difference between women and men? It's a yes/no question. Do you believe there's...
What do you mean by yes and no question, Ted? Do you mean I should give a lot of context unrelated to this question?
Oh, I think that we're talking about this case with the NCAA.
No, I'm asking a question.
No, we weren't talking about this case. He was asking the question. Here's where the frustration comes in.
Do you believe there's a difference between women and men? Most people could answer this very simply. I'm curious if you're willing to do so.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just putting it into the context of the conversation that we're having.
Very helpful.
I think that there are definitions related to sex.
Is that a yes? So I'm trying to get a yes or no. I'm not trying to get a speech. Is there a difference between women and men?
I think that there are definitions for biology.
Wow, it is incredible. She has quite the ability to have an inability to answer a yes and no question that she definitely knows the answer to. I'm impressed.
Biological sex.
Okay, so you're not answering that. Let me ask you this question then. Why do women's sports exist? If you can't define a difference between women and men, why not abolish women's sports and just tell little girls to swim with little boys and see who wins?
Maybe we just abolish women. Maybe we just abolish men. Then there's literally no difference because there's nobody.
Oh, I'm simply saying that sex is different than gender.
Why
do women's sports have a great value? I mean, Senator, I'll tell you right now.
Ms. Robinson, please answer the question I'm asking you.
Absolutely.
Why do women's sports exist?
You have to wonder what's it like inside of Ted Cruz's head, or any one of these senators who are like on the side of common sense. They know these people that are coming in to testify in front of them. They know that they are completely unwilling to use common sense. They're completely unwilling to convey accurate information that they know is true. So how do they prepare? Like, I imagine like Ted Cruz and these other common sense based senators, they're backstage being like, okay, here's the questions we need to ask, and we know we're not going to get an answer. So hopefully they just have a beer and laugh about what they think is going to happen. But I just wouldn't bet in their right mind they have any degree of realistic expectation that these people are going to show up, testify, and give real answers. And therefore, when they're here on the panel, Ted Cruz isn't surprised. Like, dude, I can't believe she's actually not answering this question. Like, no. They have to know what's coming. And they're either probably highly frustrated by it or highly amused by it. Hopefully amused.
I think that there are so many positive benefits to sports.
But why have a separate category for women? If there's no difference between women and men, why to have women's sports?
Why have women's sports? If what you mean by that is, are dogs dangerous and should people not have dogs, and cats are also a potential menace to society? If that's what you mean by the question, Senator Cruz, no, like he literally means what he just said. Like he said the question that he was trying to ask.
I'm saying that there's a difference between sex and gender, and that the NCAA has rules in place, which they have for the last...
By the way, you gotta love the equality pin on her. Just like, in case you didn't know what she stood for, there it is. We got the virtue signal pin. I believe that just, I don't know what that symbol actually, it's an equal symbol. I assume it probably doesn't mean equality, it probably means equity, #communism.
Chairman, I would like to enter into the record an article from Duke Law called Comparing Athletic Performances for the Best Elite Women to Boys and Men.
I wonder what that article found. If men are better at sports than women, if they have physical advantages, or maybe they didn't find a difference between men and women's sports performance. Maybe they didn't find any difference between men and women in general. Maybe they just couldn't find men and women anywhere. Like nobody's in the study because we couldn't find men or women because we don't know who is who. So this study literally says nothing, kind of like this lady testifying. Well, there you have it, my friends. The latest edition of Intelligent People, completely unwilling to use their intelligence because that's what ideology requires. If your ideology requires objective truth to be abolished, then it eventually means you can't use your intelligence at the same time as perpetuating the ideology because the two don't go hand in hand. And nonetheless, as much as DC is very swamp-like, and I don't think necessarily contains the leadership that we need. I think that actually comes out at an individual level. I very much appreciate politicians like Ted Cruz, Senator Hawley, Rand Paul, these very common sense people who stand for truth and they don't bow down and cater to some woke ideology, even though I'm sure they have a lot of pressure to do so. So I love seeing these people just stand for truth, common sense, and call out people who are behaving like absolute idiots so we can expose their idiocracy ideology. And with that said, appreciate you watching. Look forward to seeing you on our next video. But before you go, I want to tell you about Bond Charge's red light therapy. I'll tell you, I think there's two things the world needs more of to be a better place. More redheads and more red light. I don't know about you, but I'm someone who doesn't like to have obstacles in my way of living life the way I want, whether it's sore muscles, stress, or poor sleep. And once I started bringing red light therapy into my life on a regular basis 2 years ago, I noticed I get over those hurdles much quicker now. And in my opinion, nobody does red light therapy products better than Bond Charge. They bring not only red light, but also the most potent bioactive forms of near-infrared light into their devices to help you have better skin, reduce stress and promote relaxation, get better sleep, and help your muscles recover faster from injury and exercise. Backed by science, there's a reason why red light therapy has become an absolute staple in the health and biohacking world. Bond Charge has a full line of red light therapy devices to fit your needs. My personal favorite are the full body panels, the Max and the Super Max red light therapy devices. I also love Bond Charge's new red light mask to help me beautify my face as I'm aging. If you want to get past hurdles and start optimizing your health and how you feel and function on a daily basis, then just go to bondcharge.com/JPReacts. And while you're there, use the discount code JPReacts for 15% off. Thank you, Bond Charge.